Colorado might be the most complete team in the NHL right now. Top of the league, elite stars, depth everywhere. They even won the deadline. But here's the problem. When a team has these few weaknesses, the one that remains becomes everything. And for Avalanche, that weakness might decide their entire season. Winning the regular season doesn't guarantee anything, but it does reveal two things: consistency and strength. And Colorado has both. They've been at or near the top spot all year, not because of a late push, not because of a streak, they were just better. That matters, but only to a point, because the playoffs don't reward stability. They expose pressure points, and Avalanche hasn't really had to deal with those yet. Roster depth is where Colorado separates itself. It's not just star power, it's how little they depend on it. Brock Nelson changed the structure. Once he settled in, Avalanche stopped looking like a team driven only by its top line. Now they can distribute scoring across multiple waves, and Nelson adds defensive stability on top of that. Gabriel Landeskog's return reinforces it further. He's not at peak form after 3 years away, but he doesn't need to be. He stabilizes the second line, brings physical detail, and still produces. On defense, Brent Burns added experience, while Sam Malinski's development gave them an internal upgrade. That combination reshaped the blue line without needing dramatic changes. Everything fits, that's the strength, but it also changes the expectation, because now the structure appears complete. Yet, at the deadline, Avalanche went further. Colorado didn't just improve, they removed uncertainty. Bringing Nazem Kadri back gives them one of the strongest center spines in the league: McKinnon, Nelson, Kadri. And the detail is this: Kadri doesn't need to be what he was during the Cup run. The role is smaller, the expectations are cleaner, the fit is easier. Nick Roy adds another layer. He can play center or wing, brings size, skating, and playoff experience. He doesn't need to drive a line, he strengthens everything around him. On defense, Brett Kulak replaces Sam Girard in a very specific way. Malinski had already taken over much of Girard's puck-moving role, which made Girard expendable. And in the playoffs, size and defensive reliability matter more. Kulak brings exactly that, along with consistent postseason experience. This is why Colorado have won the deadline. Every move had a purpose, and when every problem gets solved, you start running out of excuses. Most teams have a line you can target. Colorado might not. Their fourth line has been outstanding. They don't just survive minutes. They play with pace, contribute offensively, and handle penalty-killing responsibilities. Kelly brings production and physicality. Drury adds face-off strength and detail. O'Connor, who is going to join them in the playoffs, brings energy and proven effectiveness. Together they create something most contenders don't have, a line that keeps pressure on instead of giving relief. But this is where expectations become dangerous. When every line works, every role is filled, and every gap is covered, the margin for failure doesn't disappear. It just concentrates somewhere else. And for Colorado, the pressure points are clear. The first is goaltending. The numbers are good enough. Both goalies have held a respectable level across the season. But there have also been unstable stretches, especially from Mackenzie Blackwood. Not enough to create panic, but enough to keep the question open. And more importantly, there is no clear starter. Colorado has rotated goalies all season. That works over 82 games, but in the playoffs, uncertainty in net becomes amplified. Because elite teams don't just need saves, they need predictability. They need to know who is in net when a series turns. Colorado hasn't fully answered that yet. The second issue is the power play. Last year it played a major role in their elimination. It was serious enough to force a special teams coaching change. And earlier this season, the same issue appeared again. Even with elite talent, the results weren't there. Recently, Kadri's arrival has helped improve things, but it's still not a clear strength. And that's where this becomes dangerous. Because in a series against teams that capitalize on special teams, like Dallas or Minnesota, this isn't a small issue. It's the kind of issue that decides outcomes. So where does that leave Colorado? They don't need everything to go right. That's what separates them from most contenders. They have season-long control, elite depth, a reinforced roster, and a lineup that doesn't give opponents easy minutes. But that doesn't make them unbeatable. Goaltending doesn't need to collapse, it just needs to be outplayed at the wrong moment. The power play doesn't need to fail completely, it just needs to fall short in key situations. Colorado isn't trying to prove they're good enough, they already have. Now it's about whether the one or two areas that haven't fully convinced show up again when everything else is working. Because if they don't, this is probably the best team in hockey. But if they do, this could still end the same way it did last year. If this made sense to you, you're in the right place. This is Ice Sense.